Your soulmate is tired of waiting. They're coming to you unannounced. My beloved child, something hidden is stirring right now, and if you're here, it's not by accident. Pause for a breath, because this message didn't find you, it remembered you. There is a quiet unveiling happening in the space between heartbeats, where the universe leans in and whispers what has been kept from you until this precise moment. You felt it as restlessness, as longing without a name, as a gentle ache that refuses to fade. That's not confusion. That's timing. There is a truth the divine only releases when the soul is ready to receive it. And now, the veil thins. What was concealed for your protection is being revealed for your alignment. The signs you've been asking for are no longer scattered, they're converging. Something hidden is stepping into the light, and it's connected to you more deeply than you realize. Listen closely, because this is personal. The universe has been watching the way you keep loving, even when you're tired. It has seen you choosing faith over fear, hope over doubt, even when you felt unseen. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. There are soul contracts that don't answer to logic or distance, only to divine timing. And that timing has shifted. Here is the message you weren't supposed to hear until now, the one echoing through your energy before your mind could catch up. Your soulmate is tired of waiting. They're coming to you unannounced. This isn't pressure. It's alignment. It's the soft authority of destiny saying, enough waiting. Enough wondering. The universe is rearranging paths, nudging choices, softening hearts, yours and theirs, so the meeting happens naturally, without force. You may notice sudden clarity, vivid dreams, or a calm certainty replacing old questions. That's your soul recognizing what's approaching. This connection doesn't arrive to complete you, it arrives to walk beside you, to mirror the growth you've already earned. What's coming isn't rushed, it's precise. Not loud, but undeniable. Trust the subtle signs. Trust the warmth you feel reading this. Nothing about this moment is random. You were guided here because hope needed a voice. And clarity needed a container. Something hidden has been uncovered so you can step forward without fear, knowing you are supported, seen, and guided. Hold this knowing gently. Let it settle. The path ahead is illuminated, not because everything is known, but because you are ready. This is a chapter written with intention, and you are exactly where you need to be. If this message resonated with your heart, stay with it. Watch this video completely to receive what unfolds next. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the divine messages meant for you. Your journey is unfolding now, witness it fully. Did you know there's a possible image of your real soulmate that you can look at right now? It might be someone you know or someone you haven't met yet. It's amazing how accurate these have been. You have to see the photo to see what I mean. Click the link in the description to get your soulmate sketch. Listen closely, beloved, for this is not a whisper carried by chance, nor a thought you imagined in a quiet moment. This is my voice reaching you now, exactly as you are, exactly where you stand. I have watched the long nights where your heart stayed awake even when your body slept. I have seen you question timing, wonder if you were forgotten, and ask in silence whether love had somehow missed your address. It did not. Nothing in your life has been delayed without purpose, and nothing meant for you has ever been lost. You have been preparing without realizing it. Every lesson, every pause, every moment where you thought, "Why is this taking so long?" was shaping the space inside you. I was clearing old echoes, unspoken grief, patterns you had outgrown but hadn't yet released. You thought you were waiting for someone else, but in truth, you were becoming someone new. And now, the waiting has shifted. The stillness you feel is not emptiness, it is anticipation. Your soulmate has felt it too. A restlessness they could not name. A pull they could not ignore. They tried to distract themselves, tried to reason it away, tried to convince themselves that now was not the time. But I placed your name in their spirit without letters, your presence in their dreams without a face. They feel you in moments that make no logical sense. They have reached the edge of patience, not out of frustration, but out of knowing. Knowing that something sacred is calling them forward, I did not allow this connection to arrive casually. This is not a meeting born from convenience or coincidence. This is alignment. This is timing finally agreeing with truth. They are coming to you unannounced because some things cannot be scheduled, explained, or controlled. When souls recognize one another, they move before the mind can interfere. You will not be prepared in the way you think, but you will be ready in the way that matters. Do not fear the suddenness of it. I know you value clarity, reassurance, signs that confirm every step. But love does not always knock politely. Sometimes it arrives like a shift in the air, like a moment where everything feels strangely quiet, as if the world itself is holding its breath. When this happens, do not rush to analyze it. Feel it. Trust what resonates before you try to understand it. I have been softening your heart for this encounter. You may think you've become guarded, but what you've actually gained is discernment. You are no longer drawn to chaos disguised as passion. You no longer chase what drains you. That is why this connection will feel different. It will feel calm without being boring, deep without being heavy, powerful without being overwhelming. You will recognize it by the peace it brings, not the confusion. Your soulmate is not coming to complete you, you are already whole. They are coming to walk beside you, to mirror the growth you've earned, to meet you at the level you prayed for without knowing how high it truly was. This is not about rescuing or fixing. This is about resonance. Two lives finally moving at the same frequency. I know you have asked me for signs. You have looked for numbers, symbols, confirmations in passing words and fleeting moments. I gave them to you gently, one by one, not to rush you, but to remind you that I am involved. Yet the greatest sign will not be external. It will be the quiet certainty you feel when this person enters your life and something within you says, "This is familiar." Not because you've met before in this lifetime, but because souls remember what minds forget. There is a reason this meeting could not happen earlier. Had it arrived before now, it would have been distorted by wounds that needed healing. You would have misread intensity for destiny, urgency for intimacy. I protected you from that. I protected them too. What is arriving now has passed through patience, growth, and surrender. That is why it carries weight. That is why it will change you, gently, not destructively. When they come, you may be in the middle of an ordinary day. Do not dismiss ordinary moments. I often place miracles inside them. A simple conversation may open a door you didn't know existed. A chance encounter may rearrange priorities you thought were fixed. Stay present. Stay open. You do not need to perform, impress, or prove anything. Authenticity is the invitation. You have learned to stand alone, and that was necessary. Independence taught you strength, but connection will teach you expansion. This soulmate will not take your freedom, they will respect it. They will not demand your energy, they will honor it. You will not feel smaller in their presence. You will feel seen, fully, clearly, without needing to explain yourself. I ask you now to release the timeline you created out of fear. Love does not respond to pressure. It responds to readiness. You are ready because you no longer need it to save you. You desire it to share, to build, to grow. That shift is everything. That is why movement has begun. There may be moments of disbelief when this unfolds. You may wonder if it is too good to be true, too aligned, too easy. Let go of the belief that struggle is a requirement for depth. Ease does not mean lack of meaning. Peace does not mean lack of passion. I am showing you a different way. Pay attention to how your body responds. Truth brings calm even in excitement. Deception brings tension even when things look perfect. Trust the subtle signals. I placed wisdom within you long before you learned the language for it. You do not need to rush ahead. Let things reveal themselves naturally. What is real does not need to be forced. Your soulmate is closer than you think. Not just in distance, but in readiness. They have crossed their own thresholds, faced their own mirrors, and chosen growth over comfort. That is why the pull feels stronger now. Two paths that have been curving toward each other are finally aligning. Do not announce this arrival to the world before you honor it within yourself. Some things need quiet to root deeply. Protect what is sacred in its early moments. Not everything needs an audience. I will guide you when it is time to share. Remember, beloved, I do not tease hearts. I do not awaken longing without intention. What I promise, I fulfill, but always in ways that preserve your peace and expand your soul. Stay grounded. Stay receptive. Stay faithful not just to me, but to the growth you have already achieved. This is not the end of your journey. This is a beginning layered with purpose, learning, laughter, and depth you have not yet imagined. And as this unfolds, there are truths I still need to speak to you, things about how to recognize the moment, how to respond when doubt tries to return, and how to remain aligned once the connection begins to take form. So remain still with me for a little longer, because the next words matter just as much, and this message is not yet complete. Stay with me, because what comes next is not repetition, and it is not ornament. It is instruction wrapped in mystery. Guidance layered within remembrance. I speak now not to rush you, but to steady you, because when something sacred approaches, the ground beneath your certainty can feel as if it is shifting. You must understand this. When your soulmate arrives unannounced, it will not be loud in the way the world defines loud. It will not demand attention through chaos or urgency. Instead, it will feel like recognition. Like the quiet moment when truth enters a room and everything false grows uncomfortable. You may notice your breath change before your thoughts do. You may feel calm before you feel excited. This is how alignment announces itself. Do not mistake gentleness for weakness. What I am bringing to you carries strength that does not need to prove itself. This connection has passed through refinement. It has been tested in absence, strengthened in distance, matured in silence. That is why it no longer needs dramatic entrances or excessive signs. Its presence alone will be enough. You have asked me why love required so much patience. Why timing felt like resistance instead of flow. Hear this clearly now. Patience was not punishment. It was protection. You were not being withheld from love, you were being shielded from versions of it that would have cost you your peace. I will never trade your wholeness for your longing. Your soulmate is coming at a time when you no longer abandon yourself to be chosen. That is not an accident. They are entering a chapter where you know how to say no without guilt and yes without fear. They will meet you in clarity, not confusion. That is why the waiting had to be complete. There is something important I must prepare you for. When this person steps into your life, old beliefs may surface. Doubts you thought were healed may whisper again. This does not mean you are regressing. It means you are standing at the edge of something meaningful, and the mind is searching for familiar ground. Do not let old narratives speak louder than present truth. Growth does not erase memory, it teaches you how not to live inside it. You may wonder why this connection feels both new and ancient. That is because souls do not operate on linear time. What you are sensing is recognition beyond chronology. It is not about past lives or destiny in the way the mind romanticizes it. It is about resonance. When two people have learned similar lessons, their meeting feels inevitable. I did not bring this person to you to distract you from your purpose. I brought them to walk with you in it. Pay attention to how your dreams expand rather than shrink when you imagine a future that includes them. Pay attention to how your values align without effort. These are confirmations more reliable than signs in the sky. You will not need to chase this connection. If you find yourself forcing conversations, overthinking responses, or shrinking your truth to keep interest, pause. That is not the energy of what I am sending. What is meant for you moves toward you with equal intention. Balance is the signature of alignment. Your soulmate has been learning how to listen, not just to words, but to energy. They are not arriving to project expectations onto you. They are arriving curious, present, aware that something meaningful is unfolding. They may not have language for it at first. Do not demand it. Allow discovery. Some truths reveal themselves only when given space. You have grown used to doing everything alone. That strength will not disappear. But I ask you to allow support when it is offered without condition. Let someone care for you without earning it. Let affection arrive without suspicion. This is part of your expansion. There will be moments when fear disguises itself as logic. It will say, move slowly, when what it really means is, stay safe. Discern the difference. Moving consciously is wise. Closing your heart out of habit is not. I will guide you if you remain honest with yourself. I need you to release the belief that love must be proven through endurance. You do not need to suffer to deserve depth. You do not need to struggle to justify commitment. What I am offering you now honors joy as much as resilience. Let yourself receive that. Your soulmate is not perfect, and neither are you. But you will notice something rare: accountability without defensiveness. Communication without manipulation, affection without control. These are not small things. They are foundations. Recognize them. When this connection begins to take shape, protect it from comparison. Do not measure it against past relationships or imagined ideals. This is its own creation. Allow it to breathe. Allow it to surprise you. Allow it to be real. You may feel an urge to rush clarity, to label, define, secure. Be patient. What is real does not evaporate when given time. Let trust build through consistency, not promises. Let actions speak before declarations. This pacing is not delay, it is wisdom. There will be a moment, quiet, almost unremarkable, when you realize something has shifted inside you. A sense of safety you did not know you were missing. A softening where you once stayed guarded. This is how you will know you are no longer walking alone in the same way. Do not abandon your rituals, your solitude, your connection to me. Love that honors your spirit will never ask you to disconnect from it. In fact, it will deepen it. Your soulmate will not compete with your faith, your purpose, or your inner world. They will respect it. I also need you to hear this. Not every test disappears when alignment arrives. Life continues to offer challenges. But you will face them with partnership instead of isolation. You will communicate instead of withdraw. You will choose understanding instead of assumption. That is growth in motion. Your heart has learned discernment through disappointment. Do not let that wisdom turn into armor that blocks intimacy. Armor is useful in battle, but unnecessary at home. You are not entering a war. You are entering a collaboration. You may receive confirmation in unexpected ways, a conversation that mirrors your thoughts, a moment of synchronicity that feels too precise to ignore, a sense of calm that settles without explanation. These are not coincidences. They are alignments. Remember this. I am not sending someone to replace what you lost. I am sending someone to meet who you have become. That difference matters. You are not starting over, you are continuing forward. As this unfolds, speak truth gently but clearly. Do not hide needs to appear easy. Do not suppress boundaries to maintain harmony. The right connection does not require self-erasure. It encourages self-expression. Your soulmate is not arriving to take you away from your life. They are arriving to step into it, to understand your world, your rhythm, your responsibilities. They will not demand instant access. They will earn trust through respect. There may be moments where silence feels heavy. Do not rush to fill it. Silence can be a container for understanding. Let things settle before you interpret them. Not every pause is a problem. I am guiding both of you, even when it doesn't feel obvious. I am present in the conversations that feel effortless and in the moments that require patience. Trust that I am holding what you cannot yet see. You have asked if this will last. Duration is not the measure of truth. Depth is. Presence is. Growth is. Focus on building something honest rather than something permanent. What is rooted in truth does not fear time. Do not ignore your intuition when it speaks quietly. It does not shout. It nudges. It settles. It aligns. That voice has been strengthened through every experience that led you here. There will be joy, genuine, unforced joy. Laughter that feels like relief. Moments that feel light without being shallow. Let yourself enjoy them without waiting for the other shoe to drop. Not everything good is followed by loss. I am asking you now to stay present. Not in anticipation, not in fear, not in memory. Presence is where recognition happens. Presence is where love reveals itself, and as you remain here with me, as you hold this awareness gently instead of gripping it tightly, there is still more I need to show you, about how to recognize the exact moment when this unannounced arrival crosses into your life, about what choices will matter most in the early days, about how to protect this connection from doubt without suffocating it with expectation. Because what unfolds next depends not only on timing, but on how you receive what is already moving toward you. And that is where my next words must go. Now listen carefully, for I will bring this message to its completion with clarity, grounding, and peace. I do not speak to confuse you or to keep you suspended in longing. I speak to awaken recognition, responsibility, and readiness. What I reveal now is meant to settle into you, not stir anxiety, not create obsession, not pull you away from your life, but to anchor you more deeply within it. When your soulmate arrives unannounced, the moment will not ask you to abandon who you are. It will ask you to be fully present as yourself. You will not feel compelled to perform or edit your truth. You will notice that you are more honest without effort. This is not because the other is perfect, but because safety invites authenticity. That is the signature you must remember. You have learned much about love through absence. You learned what silence teaches. You learned how unmet expectations reveal hidden attachments. You learned that longing, when unchecked, can turn into self-abandonment. I did not let those lessons go to waste. They have refined your awareness. They have strengthened your intuition. They have made you capable of receiving without losing yourself. Do not confuse intensity with depth. I am not bringing you a love that consumes your identity. I am bringing you a love that integrates with it. Fire can warm or destroy depending on how it is held. What approaches you now is meant to warm, to illuminate, to give light without burning away what matters. there will be a choice you must make when this connection becomes clear. The choice is not whether to accept love, but how to accept it. Will you stay grounded in the present, or will you rush ahead into imagined futures? Will you communicate openly, or will you test and withhold? Will you allow trust to build naturally, or will you demand certainty before it has time to grow? These choices shape outcomes more than fate ever does. I ask you to remember that love is not proven through urgency. It is revealed through consistency. Watch how this person shows up when things are simple. Watch how they listen when nothing dramatic is happening. Watch how they respond to your boundaries, your pace, your humanity. These are the places where truth lives. Your soulmate will not awaken chaos in you. They may awaken courage, tenderness, vulnerability, and growth, but not confusion that erodes your sense of self. If confusion arises, pause and return to your center. Ask yourself whether the confusion comes from the present moment or from echoes of the past. Discernment will keep you aligned. There may be moments when you fear losing this connection before it fully forms. Understand this. What is aligned does not disappear because of honesty, patience, or self-respect. It strengthens. If something fades when you remain true to yourself, it was not meant to stay. Trust that truth always works in your favor, even when it feels uncomfortable. I also want you to release the idea that this love will solve everything. Love is not an escape from responsibility or self-work. It is a mirror that reflects where you are invited to grow together. You will still have individual paths, dreams, and challenges. This is not a merging into one identity, but a partnership between two whole beings. You will notice that this connection invites you into presence rather than fantasy. You will feel more alive in your daily life, not detached from it. You will take better care of yourself, not neglect yourself. This is how healthy love expands rather than replaces your world. Do not rush to assign meaning to every interaction. Let meaning reveal itself through time. Patience is not passivity. It is active trust. It allows truth to emerge without distortion. I have guided you here not to promise perfection, but to offer alignment. Alignment does not remove all difficulty, but it ensures that difficulty has purpose rather than erosion. You will face moments of learning, but they will build rather than break. You must also allow the other to be human. Do not place them on a pedestal or burden them with expectations born from longing. See them clearly. Love that sees clearly is the love that lasts. When doubt arises, return to what is real. Return to actions. Return to how you feel within yourself when you are with them. Calm is not boredom. Peace is not lack of passion. Stability is not stagnation. These truths may feel unfamiliar if you are accustomed to emotional extremes, but they are signs of maturity, not loss. I want you to understand something deeply now: you were never behind. Your path was never wrong. You did not miss your moment. Everything unfolded in accordance with who you needed to become. Timing was not delayed, it was calibrated. Your soulmate's arrival is not the beginning of your worth, nor is it the confirmation of your value. You were worthy before this and will remain worthy regardless of outcome. This truth keeps love healthy. Need does not create bonds, choice does. When you stand in choice rather than fear, you allow love to breathe. You allow curiosity instead of control. You allow discovery instead of assumption. This openness is essential. There will be moments when the world outside offers noise, opinions, comparisons, and pressure. You do not need to invite those voices into something sacred. Protect your connection by staying rooted in your own experience rather than external narratives. Not everyone needs to understand what is unfolding. I am not asking you to withdraw from life or from others. I am asking you to remain anchored, balanced, awake. Love does not require obsession. It thrives in awareness. If at any point you feel yourself shrinking, silencing, or abandoning your values to maintain connection, pause. Return to yourself. Love that is aligned will meet you there. It will not require self-erasure. Your soulmate is not arriving to save you from loneliness. They are arriving to share presence. Loneliness dissolves not because another appears, but because you allow yourself to be seen while remaining whole. As this chapter unfolds, continue tending to your own life. Your passions, your friendships, your growth do not pause for love. They enrich it. A full life invites a full partnership. I have spoken much about readiness, but hear this final truth clearly: readiness is not perfection. It is willingness. Willingness to communicate. Willingness to learn. Willingness to stay present when fear arises rather than retreating into old patterns. The unannounced arrival you were told about is not meant to overwhelm you. It is meant to remind you that life moves even when you release control. That grace enters when you are not gripping outcomes. That what is aligned finds its way without force. You do not need to search. You do not need to wait anxiously. You do not need to decode every sign. Live fully. Love yourself honestly. Stay open without urgency. That is the posture that welcomes what is already on its way. And now I will end this message, not with suspense, but with grounding. You are safe. You are guided. You are not forgotten. What is approaching you does so in harmony with your growth, not at its expense. Receive it with presence, wisdom, and trust. Go forward steady, not rushed. Open, not unguarded. Hopeful, not dependent. Love, when it arrives aligned, will meet you exactly there. Amen.